Welcome back everyone. In this section, we are going to learn SQL injection. Now this vulnerability is most serious vulnerability in web application penetration testing, and this is one of the most dangerous vulnerabilities as well. Now what happens in this vulnerability? We use database query as taking an argument in an unfiltered input area, and usually these inputs are something. Maybe we could be searching for something, for maybe it's a movie name or it's a username or it can be password. So what happens when we make a request on a particular website? For example, it's a movie streaming website and we search for a movie. Now what will happen is the database will receive an request from the website and it will be asking for the particular match that we have requested, and if the movie exists on that platform, it will give us the result in the form of that movie. Now what happens when we try to log in into our account? When we log in username and password, the database receives a request from our website with a hash. Now that hash goes into the database and database matches if the hash is present on the server or not, and if the server have that hash, we get our password correct and then we would be able to log in into our account. Now the process is similar, just what happens when we as an attacker do the same thing, but instead of a normal regular input, we input a SQL query. Now what is this SQL query? So basically, to communicate between website and database, there is something called SQL or SQL is used. That is nothing but a simple programming language that is a communication medium. Now when we enter a SQL query and if this vulnerability is present, that's when the problem occurs. Then we can modify our SQL query and we can ask the server to dump the entire database of user and we can get everything we want. Either it's usernames, password, login credentials, or whatever we want to see on the server. Now what actually a SQL query looks like? So for example, here we have select star from records where ID is 2. Now what this simple command means is that server have to show us from that it gives command to server that select where is ID 2 from our records. Now if there is a ID on number 2 or if there is ID 2, it will give us the result or the username or password regarding that ID number. So that's how this process works, and we will look on to few examples in the practical session. So let's